So far we've talked about perfect rhyme or fully resolved rhyme, and we've talked about family rhyme, which is a perfect rhyme substitute. Note, by the way, in family rhyme, there are a couple of things missing, which you may have noted. What about L? What about R? What about W? What about Y? What about X? Are there any families there? Answer, not really. Not really. The R sound, R, L sound, L, both called laterals, but really you don't substitute one for the other. X is easy, k, s, k, s, k, s. So it's a hybrid. Just as, by the way, in family rhymes, the CH, t-ch, ch, is a T-S-H, t-sh, ch, and the J, j, is a D-Z-H, j, j. So there are some hybrids involved. And of course the J and the CH in the family rhyme table are not pure family rhymes. They are hybrids between two sounds. But nonetheless, still work quite well. L and R, when they occur, they create a lot of sound, and that gives other opportunities, but not opportunities for family rhyme. Y and W, although you see those letters at the ends of words, really don't engage themselves except at the beginnings of words. So play, which ends in a Y, isn't play, but yes, yes does engage the Y sound. That is to say, puts the middle of your tongue very close to your soft palate, leaving only a little room. The W, winner, 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 the lip vowel gives you, again, an attenuated sound at the very end of the vowel triangle shown here. Note that the Y is the extreme end of the tongue vowels, going from the ah sound, I, and is therefore a semivowel. And note going up the lip vowel side, ow. The W sound is the extreme of the lip vowel leg of the vowel triangle. So those consonant sounds don't figure into family rhyme, but they certainly, at least the L, the R, will figure into what we're doing now, which is called additive and subtractive rhymes. Note also another huge category of words does not fit into the family rhyme mode. Those are, of course, words that don't end in consonants. The word free, the word go, the word play do not end in consonant sounds. They end in vowel sounds. And so since they end in vowel sounds, and since family rhyme says, condition 2, that the consonants after the vowel belong to the same phonetic family, since there are no consonants after the vowel in free and play and grow, family rhyme doesn't figure in there either. So when we're dealing with those open vowels, that is, vowels that end the word, or when we're dealing with L and R, we have to work another way to start creating opportunities for something less stable than perfect rhyme. So let's talk about additive rhyme. Additive rhyme, you have two words or two syllables, one of which, the second of which, adds something that the first doesn't contain. What if we wanted it to be much more stable? What if our idea was much more stable? Then we would try to add as little sound as possible to the second member of the pair. So again, using the long I, cry. What would be the least possible sound you could add? Think about that for a minute. Take a look at the consonants. What would be the least possible sound you can add? So, cry, bribe, cry, bribe, using the voice plosive B, or cry, ride, using the voice plosive D. G is not going to work, just because of the nature of G, raising your tongue up and changing the vowel sound. So really, you don't get that. So that here, additively adding the least possible sound gives us the most stable possibility. Whereas adding a bunch of sound creates a less stable connection, like cry, smile, cry, bride. And so that middle position that you see in the scale of rhyme types is pretty movable, that it can move more toward fully resolved or more toward less resolved, depending on how much sound you add. Remember when we were talking about line lengths, and we were talking about the relationship between longer and shorter lines, and that when you start with a shorter line and then go to a longer line, that you are matching your shorter line along the way and then extending beyond it, and that creates stability. That creates a little more stability than when you are moving the other way and doing, say, for example, Mary had a little lamb, fleece was white as snow. So that longer versus shorter moves you forward, and shorter versus longer keeps you a little more stable. And the same is true with additive rhymes. That because say, bride adds a sound, it has already matched cry along the way before it adds the D. And so just as a shorter versus longer line feels a little more stable, so does cry, bride feel a little more stable. So additive rhymes, for example, free, speed, not so bad. Glow, with a fricative now. Glow, stove, fit, grits, not so bad. Fine, resigned, and certainly cry, smile. So that additive rhymes, of the two, additive, subtractive, which we're about to do, additive rhymes are somewhat more stable because the second position adds something that the first position doesn't have. Let's flip that over and let's talk about subtractive rhymes. Now we're in the same position that we are with line lengths, where we have the longer followed by the shorter. So here we'd have speed, free, and now we have some instability. So that even with that little bit of sound that the D adds, speed, free, you feel like something's missing. Gives you that sense of instability. Or stove, glow, you're missing that V sound. So again, you have that feeling of instability. Resigned, fine, and finally, the least stable, smile, cry. And so those are additive and subtractive rhymes.